Greetings and welcome everyone to my Prince of Persia The Two Thrones Let's Play. When we last left off, well, our father had died, I believe, and then we basically told the Dark Prince to piss off, mate, we don't need you. And now we're just basically going to be, all on our lonesome. Never mind, because I just heard the Dark Prince giving us friendly advice, so that's something that seems a bit odd. Like, they make a big point about how the prince doesn't need the darkness inside of him anymore, and he's, moving on and whatnot. And so he's getting rid of the Dark Prince inside of him. And then the Dark Prince comes back and is like, yo, Prince, might want to attack those monsters with the light. And it's like, hang on, I told you to piss off. What are you doing back here giving me a tutorial? Seems a bit odd there. Because that's really the only time the Dark Prince will actually talk to you in the game from now on. It's when he wants to give you, like, advice. It's or, stuff like that. It just seems a bit odd that Ubisoft sort of missed that. It's a big moment in terms of like the plot, a very important sort of story thing, and yet they still have that tutorial in there. It seems a bit, just a bit odd to have that there. Anyway, there I just did a bit of editing out because I know you don't really want to see me, drinking water and stuff like that, so I just edited that out and just, skipped ahead. But yeah, I do make sure to drink from basically every water fountain since I do tend to get hit a lot in this little session. So that is something that you're going to have to unfortunately deal with. So I apologize for me getting hit. It's been a while since I last played, so my combat skills aren't all that good. I mean, they were never good to begin with, so making them rough is, even worse. Now this little section here is actually pretty fun. It's mostly just swinging around. It's a very nice, calm little section as a sort of chilling out moment. There's not that much you can really do here in order to speed up the gameplay. It's mostly just it's, as far as I can tell, it's mostly just getting better and more efficient at platforming and not making a mistake. That's really all you can do. There's no sorts of magical tricks to skip like 20 seconds or anything like that. So yeah, just casual, jumping about. Right. I actually did just do one of those small sort of time savers there. If you want to try and save a little bit of time, something that you can do is just try and memorize which jumps you need to go and where, and then just make those sort of blind jumps and not turn the camera, because turning the camera and then looking to see where you need to go does cost time. So yeah, there's Dark Prince again. But yeah, so if you want to save some time, what would probably be best is to try and memorize the entire layout of the game and then...
And so the prince's eyes had finally been opened to the true nature of his corrupt half, that cruel and charismatic voice which once whispered in his ear. It had subtly encouraged our burdened hero to do wrong. But now the voice was stilled, the prince's mind once more his own.
The prince's mind was once more his own. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, because there's a tutorial going on inside my head. I don't understand what you're saying to me, game. I'm getting very conflicting messages. Anyway, just destroy these rocks right here, and then you can basically just ignore that section. Well, not ignore it, but you can just advance past it anyway. Yeah, it's very simple in what to do with those rocks. You just destroy them. Simple as. This little section up here is really, it's pretty basic. You really shouldn't have that much trouble if you've made it this far. It's a nice little... It's not as difficult as some of the earlier sections, and that's mostly just because they're trying to, slowly get you reaccustomed to the platforming, because you did have a very long section with Dark Prince, so this is just trying to get you reused to playing as the Prince again. So, it works, and there's me failing. For some reason, the prince decided to do like an attack or something like that. It was weird. I messed up. Anyway, right here, you want to make sure you slow down time, because otherwise you will lose. Yeah, see that? That was close. Now, if you don't have time slowed down, basically what happens is those, like, I don't know what you call them, but those ledges or whatever that you can grab onto, they won't be there in time for you to grab onto them if you have normal time on. So make sure you slow down time as soon as possible so you can make it across. Otherwise it's super tricky and like basically impossible. I've never been able to pass it without having time slowed down. Never really tried too much though. So yeah, basically my suggestion to you is make sure time is slowed down. So make sure you always have some sands. That is really useful. You could probably kill some bad guys and do that, but I'm making, like, if you want to get some sands, you could kill some bad guys that are spawning around here, because there's a lot of bad guys. They're really easy to take down. We've got a super sword, which basically just takes them down in like one hit, but I'm mostly ignoring them because they're not really that important. These little dudes that steal your sands, yeah, take them down because, well, they'll steal your sands and we want sands, so you get rid of them. But aside from them, there's really not that many enemies you really should kill if you've already got sands, for example. Like, all you're doing is just wasting your time because you could just be running ahead and platforming. So yeah, just ignore the enemies. That's another time saver. Getting into combat with enemies can really eat up a lot of time. A lot of time. Whoops. I messed up my little jump there. So if you absolutely must have a fight with enemies, like right now I'm out of sand, so basically might as well just fight these guys. They only take a few hits to take down as well, so there's Dark Prince again. Like, oh, I don't understand it. The prince's mind was his own, yet that clearly was not my own voice. That was not Yuri Lowenthal. That was not the prince. That was who voices the Dark Prince? Is it Robin Atkin Downes, or is that the guy from Warrior Within? I don't know. But basically it wasn't the prince. That's what I'm trying to get across. Anyway, right here, you can fight these guys. I would only recommend taking down the dogs that steal your sands, because you really don't need to fight any of the other ones, because there's nothing that really requires it. So that's something that I really do enjoy about Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. Like, you can run away from a lot of the fights. There's no kill rooms. Like, there's no, oh, kill every enemy in this room, then you can advance. Most of the time, you basically can just ignore, like, all the combat, except for maybe boss fights. Boss fights are basically the only time you're ever forced to fight an enemy. So, yeah, that's fine by me. You know, boss fights are trying to be tests of, like, your combat skill and platforming skill as well. So, you know, forcing you to do something, I guess that's okay. Just making sure that you know what to do. Oh, this section is a bit tricky here because I'm running out of sands. Oh, that was way too close. That was way too close. Now, something that you can do to sort of speed up the prince is wall run. I don't really do it because I find it weird to try and get it to work. I have rubbish at wall running and then stopping. But basically, something that you can do with the prince is start wall running, stop wall running, start wall running, and then stop wall running. Wall running has a faster ground movement speed has a faster movement speed than just regular walking. So that's something that you can do if you're in like a long stretch of a hallway. You can just wall run across the walls, and then you'll be able to get a little bit faster. It'll only save like if you do that for every single chance you get in the game, you could probably save like a minute or two. It's not much, but it's something. So if you're counting those small minutes, then it's definitely worth doing it. So, yeah. Okay. Oops. Hell off. Jeez. Yeah, I'm not used to this little area. Yeah, I'm just a bit... I am, very inexperienced in these later sections. I think I've said that before. I mostly just tend to speedrun the earlier sections, and then after that I'm like, oh man, I'm getting exhausted, I'll come back to this later, and then I'm like, you know what, I would like to play some Sands of Time. Then I play Sands of Time or something else instead. It's a good game, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a very long game, a very, very long, and it seems to be much longer than the Sands of Time. I don't know if that's true or not, or if it's just because I'm more familiar with the Sands of Time, but every time I've played the Sands of Time, it's always taken me maybe 5 hours at most. Like, that's with collecting everything to beat it. So that's like beating everything, collecting everything, you know, doing all that stuff. That's like 5 hours at most. But this game tends to average for me at like 5 hours. So yeah, it's quite a bit longer than Sands of Time, or at least seems like that to me. I don't know. Everyone in the comments section, tell me, like, how long does it take you to beat, like, the Sands of Time versus the Two Thrones? Because I'm actually kind of interested to know if there's, like, a major discrepancy between, like, that, or is it just me? I don't know. Anyway, there's another little water thing right here. Ah, water. Lovely, lovely, lovely water. Anyway, now we are onto the outer side of the tower. Yeah, that's right, we're climbing up. We're finally going to, climb up all the way to the top and meet the Vizier and kick his ass. Well, not finally, actually. There's still a long way. This is a big tower, so there is a lot of platforming required. Now, actually, here's a small little trick you can do to save some time. What you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to swing and then go into that little hole, then slide down. What you can do is you can swing, then just drop down, and the prince will land on the floor perfectly fine. Normally, if you just drop without swinging, the prince will land on his back and he'll fall off the tower and die. So if you start swinging and then press the drop button, he'll land on it. I don't know why it happens like that, but it does, and it saves quite a bit of time. Well, not quite a bit, it saves like maybe 5 seconds at most, but that's 5 seconds you've just saved. So every little second counts, so I definitely recommend using that little trick. It's definitely worth it. Okay, now this little section right here is not too complicated. It's basically just making sure you rotate all these little turnstiles and bring the rock up so you can use it as a little way to platform. This is mostly just like a sort of mini tutorial for another section that's going to be slightly more complicated. That's going to be a slightly more complicated version of this. Yeah, it's still pretty easy stuff though. There's no enemies up here. As of yet anyway. I'm sure there's going to be more enemies, but as of right now, yeah, there's no enemies. Not much difficult platforming. It's just, it's pretty chill. Pretty chill being up here and like 50,000 kilometers up high or something ridiculous. It feels crazy high. Yeah, I like the nice little skybox this game has. Now, I don't know if you can do like the swing jump on some of these. I've always just climbed up and then like hold on to the bars like that. I'm sure you can do maybe a swing jump with some of them, but just to be careful, I've always just climbed on top of them to say. I don't know if it saves time. It probably doesn't, but yeah, something. Anyway, now I think you know what? Thank you for sticking around, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. And dead. Anyway, yeah, GG. We'll continue this on later.